So we're gonna move on to our next topic. So you are actually a student of Harvard, and
Damn.
so if you were to actually go to my school, you would be a god.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
You guys, we can't look at you properly because you're like shining too much. You're because
this flattery is really working for me. Thank you. Keep it going.
Yes, but so a lot of students want to know about Harvard.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the true experience of being in Harvard.
Yeah.
So as a Harvard student, I really wanted to ask you about the different aspects of the Harvard life.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to start off with what different types of extracurriculars there are provided by the college, university.
Yeah. So really, like the one thing that I can say about the extracurriculars is there are so many that there's no way you wouldn't be able to find something.
Oh, okay.
Like I guess we started, there's club sports. One of my blockmates, who is basically the people you live with throughout your three upperclassmen years in the house.
Oh, okay.
He's on the club soccer team. So there's there's club sports. There's intramural sport. Intramurals are extremely competitive. Not necessarily. I mean, it's competitive in the freshmen because there's a freshman league with the freshman dorm, and then there's the house leagues, which are like because the houses you're in there for 3 years, so it's a lot, lot more pride goes with it. So like my house, Mather House, won the Strauss Cup last year.
Oh, okay.
Granted, I wasn't part of the house then because I'm moving in this year.
Oh, okay.
But still, it's kind of cool. So there's that. I'm part of the Harvard Crimson, which is the oldest continually published college newspaper in the country. So there's there's journalism, there's so many different magazines or publications that you can write for. There's the Harvard Political Review. There's the Advocate, which is more of like an arts, poetry, fiction writing. I don't know too much about it, but I know a lot of people who do it. There's everything from like the Sports Analytics Collective, I believe they're called, and there's different faith groups. There's like acapella is a surprisingly big thing here too. Like two of my blockmates sing acapella. One, Chris, he's on a tour with the Harvard Crocodillos, which is kind of like the really old group. He's currently doing a world tour.
Oh, really?
So he was crisscrossing around Asia for the past month. Now he's in Western Europe, and it's ridiculous. So there's so much here that like there's no way you're not going to be able to get involved.
So
like there's so many niche things that you wouldn't think, and it's one of those things like if you don't see a club that you want, start your own. People are going to join. Yeah.
You can be anything you want in
honestly.
Fix Utopia.
Said it right there.
Okay, so what is is Harvard Crimson your main thing? Is your main thing?
So freshman year, a lot of kids kind of got involved in a lot of things immediately, and I tried to take a different approach. I told myself, like, freshman year, I'm going to do one or two things, and I'm going to do them well, because I don't want. Because coming in, it's like as you might expect, I felt overwhelmed. I didn't want to stretch myself too thin. I didn't want to get completely overwhelmed and have a breakdown mid-year. So I basically said, okay, I'm going to do the Harvard Crimson. So I decided to comp 2 boards. So the comp process is basically a way that you join it. By some of the comps are like for different because one thing that I forgot in the extra read, there's a ton of consulting consulting groups. But like they have comps that are competitive and like only certain people make it through. Most the Crimson comps, with the exception of the business board, are all like completion based. So if you write, they're like, I'll take the news board for example. So you have to write 8 daily pieces, which are just kind of like normal articles.
That's a lot.
Not like in a row, but it's like throughout the semester you have to write 8 pieces that appear in the paper, and then one long form feature, which is your comp feature, was kind of the capstone project.
Oh, okay.
So I decided to comp 2 boards. So I comp news, and then I comp the arts board.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically like movie reviews, TV reviews, book, music, food reviews, podcast reviews, all of that kind of stuff. Campus arts features, if they're like student art exhibits, public art stuff, student performances, ballet, modern dance, all of that, like all of that and more we cover in the arts board. So I decided to comp that. So I comped 2 boards, and and then at the end of my first semester, I became a staff writer for both of them. I was formally elected to the Crimson. Which is basically like a fancy way of saying that I completed the comp process.
So you are selected within Harvard? again.
Yeah, but the Crimson comp process is really inclusive. It's really, it's not competitive. It's like it's comp. Comp in this scenario is competency. So you complete the amount of requirements before the end of the semester. Then you are elected to the Crimson.
Oh, that's awesome.
So election, like grand elections, is like our formal like ceremony that that you officially join the Crimson.
Oh, okay.
So I decided. So that's basically what I did first semester and second semester, and then second semester I became a staff writer. And for news, that means you get a beat, which is a certain area of the university or coverage area that you will have for 2 semesters. So last semester and then this upcoming semester. So my beat is Cambridge, city government, and public relations. So I cover Cambridge City Council, the mayor's office. And basically everything, Harvard's relation to Cambridge, if there are any conflicts between the two, or if there are any cooperations between the two. All of that is kind of, so it's a very broad area of metro coverage. So I like that. And I think it's really as close as to like real world reporting as like you're going to find in the Crimson until you get to like a senior beat, I think, because you're talking to residents, you're talking to politicians, you're kind of reporting outside the Harvard level. Which is cool.
I see.
So I really like that. So like some of the threads that I've been covering, which are just like continuing stories. They're currently pushing for affordable housing reform in Cambridge. So there's been a lot of stuff about that. Marijuana legalization laws that they've been debating. City budget. Let's see what's upcoming. And then now it's election season because city council elections are in November. So at the end of this month, we finalize list candidates. So there's 9 city council positions. Currently 30 declared candidates. So it should be fun. So I get to talk. So like I have interviews with a bunch of them next week.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, I get to interview the mayor, usually every month, which is pretty cool. Yeah, a little flex there. Or really as often as I need, call them up and be like, hey, can you comment for the story? So it's a lot of fun, and you don't realize kind of how cool it is until like you're in the because you're just doing your job. Yeah. So you don't kind of realize like, I just talked to the mayor of Cambridge.
I see.
But yeah.
All right. So one very interesting aspect of the Harvard Crimson is that unlike some other sloppy college newspaper sites that are made by students, Harvard Crimson is actually one of the most credible sources out there. Is there what do you think what is the element that creates such a credible source?
So I think a lot of it has to do with our comp process. Is that we are really taught professional journalism, like professional journalism standards in writing, in interviewing, in handling sources. We are in. Besides the fact that we are full-time college students, we act as a professional paper. So we have like intensive journalistic ethics training. We have extensive source training. I got lucky. I had 2 of the best comp directors that I know. Like they're 2 great people, Kent and Josh. And they really taught my guard, which is my year, the people that comp that semester really well. And it's just we have very strict standards on bias, on editorializing. We take, because there's something called the news editorial wall. So we have an editorial board, and we have a news board, and they don't interact in any way. No one works across. If you write an editorial on something for any board, you're not allowed to write a news article on the same thing. So we have very strict standards when it comes to opinions or any kind of inherent bias in articles. That's nice. Also, we have a dedicated staff. We have great editors. We have a great president, great managing editor. That when there's breaking news, we're on it. It's a really well-oiled machine. So yeah, so during the school year we produce 5 daily papers a week. Okay. So the machine's always churning.
All right. So this is gonna be my last question to you about the Harvard Crimson. So. The first day I was here, when you were introducing the Harvard Crimson, one of the things that I kind of remember was your story about taking off the bird off of the and sending off to Russia and stuff like that. And so there seems to be university rivalry between Lampoon and the Harvard Crimson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This stretches back like a century. No one really like. Part of the comp process was we had a history seminar about the Crimson, and there was a whole slide on the Lampoon. Basically, it's just we have a rivalry with them that stretches back like a century. So the main shtick is that they try to steal our president's chair, which is just this really old chair that the president used to sit in. They don't anymore. We have it hidden away somewhere. And then we have to steal their ibis Threski, what is the little metal bird they have on the top of their castle. They have a castle, by the way.
I'll show it to you guys later. No worries.
So that's kind of the basis for it. But then there's a lot of it. Like every year we have like a competition. So it's like a softball game, basketball game. This year it was a Jeopardy. It was a game of Jeopardy.
It was a game of Jeopardy
where Alex Trebek himself came.
Oh yes, you told us that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And officiated. So basically, we had the president and business manager of the Crimson, two presidents of the Lampoon, and Alex Trebek having a three-way Jeopardy competition.
Wait, so who won again?
Oh, Alex Trebek won. They rigged the game, but it was. But the whole thing was like we play and they give us the chair back.
Okay.
So then a couple weeks later, they put the chair, surrounded it in ice, like little like ice.
Oh my god.
Rectangles, and we had to chop our way through.
Okay.
Like whack our way through, but we got it back. So they do stuff like that. Like this Christmas, they had stolen the chair sometime in the fall, I think, and they returned it gift wrapped with a giant tree in our upstairs room.
Wait. So you can steal the chair or the bird anytime you want?
Yeah, it's just like an ongoing thing, but it's just So as long as they don't break anything, it's a fun rivalry, I suppose. But like it's just cool. Like Alex Trebek coming to campus and officiating a Jeopardy game.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's funny.
It's Harvard class.
Yeah.
All right. So we covered your life at SSP. We covered your life as students, Harvard Crimson. I was gonna ask you one more thing. Oh yeah. Okay, this is the last identity you're going to be going through. This is the last part of so I won't keep you too long after this. So I really wanted to talk to you about the admission process into Harvard.
Sure.
Because so many friends of mine pleaded me and begged me when I told them that I'm going to Harvard to please ask people about the question because online it just says Harvard doesn't care about standardized test scores. They love unique students of different background. So I really wanted to ask you to what extent that is actually true.
So I mean, like when they say like test scores are not important, obviously they're important because if they're asking for them, they're important.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of that baseline thing of like because obviously they want a certain caliber of student academically. So your test scores and your transcripts are important.
Yeah.
But it's not what gets you in. That's what gets you to the table of deciding whether they want you or not. In my personal experience, I'm still convinced I got in through pure luck because I think the general consensus, or at least most people I've talked to, is no one expects to get into Harvard. No one expects that congratulations letter. But they have the personal interviews. They have they take the essay very seriously because like that's the window into what kind of a person, not just what kind of student you are, what kind of a person you are, and what kind of student you will be. So the interviews are very important, but it's not. You shouldn't. I know people that they memorized 4 or 5 lines of what they wanted to say. They're like I got to get these things into my interview. It's not necessarily about that. It's about being authentic. Excuse me, and showing them that you are genuine, that you're genuinely interested, that you were genuinely excited, that you were a genuine person. So like there's no formula, there's no bullet point slide that gets you like a perfect essay. Right from a place that you think is a point of view of you that is not shown anywhere else in your application.
That's good.
Whether it's a personal experience, whether it's I don't even know because there's a million different ways to write a good Harvard essay. But yeah, as I said, there's no one way to do it, and there's no one way that guarantees. And it to a certain extent, it comes down to luck. It comes down to which admissions officer is reading your file. It comes down to minuscule things that you won't even ever know about.
Are they having a good day?
Yeah,
et
yeah.
cetera, et cetera.
It's whether do they read yours at the beginning of the day? Do they read it at the end of the day? It's minuscule things that you will never know about.
Yeah.
But the best advice is be genuine in your interviews. Be truthful. Be open in your essays. As I said, give them a perspective of you that they're not going to find anywhere else.
All right. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Thank you so much, Declan. You mind if you say bye to my friends?
Sure. So it was great talking to you guys. Jack's a great person. He only causes me a couple headaches. But good luck on any application processes, and maybe I'll see you around. All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Declan.
Of course.
All right. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.
Woo! That was good. I don't think I tripped over my words too much.
You didn't swear at all. That's a good thing.
Yeah, no, I